Think we're live. Sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here at Ghost Picks ATS coming at you with my guy Moff Dollars with another episode of Keep It Rollin'. What's going on, Moff?
What's going on, Pat? Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's the final round at the Riv this week. We're going to go over the picks we gave before the Thursday start, what we think today, and how everything's looking. Pat, how are we looking?
Looking all right, depending on what you think of all right. So we had the double lock of the week. So last week our double lock was the Harold Varner fade and the Louis Oosthuizen top 20 at plus 190. Those both cash. This week we're rooting in Max Homa because we are a bunch of homas. We are a Homa podcast. Plus 220.
Ash gang.
Plus 220 to finish in the top 20. Right now he's sitting in sixth place. I know Moff loves his game. We were just chatting about it earlier. He looks great. Didn't even hit it that well yesterday and still finished at 4 under. So always got to look for a guy like that to have an even bigger day potentially. So look for him. Watch out for a little Homa if he gets hot early. You know, what did he hit the front 9 at yesterday, Moff?
I was trying to pull up his stuff from yesterday.
I mean, it was like
he started out
600
hot.
9.
Yeah, I mean, he eagled the first, and then three other birdies. We had 3 back to back on the front.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll talk about some of the guys we're looking for today, some of the matchups. First, for those people, anybody tuning in, anybody trying to get a little quick one out of the way, the first matchup Moff and I were talking about. Now, all the other ones, they go off, it's 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. These matchups all go off after 12:30, 12:45, so you should have no problem getting them in. The first one, though, this is a special one. Cameron Tringali and Jordan Spieth. 11:55 Eastern Standard Time, so in about 10 minutes, that one tees off. Line reeks. Well, tell them what you think.
I mean, so Pat, Pat actually, it's a good thing we do these and talk these out because I'm sitting here and I look, we love Jordan. We talked about that last week. I always love Jordan, but we look at a guy like Cameron Tringali that putts well on Poana. He plays well on these type of greens where Jordan, this is actually the worst surfaces for Jordan to play on. He started out hot, but I think Tringali, he's got the what is it, minus 120. I think Tringali over Spieth today. That is a matchup that we like. It's an early one. We're gonna go ahead and get that in, and we got a couple more.
Yeah,
I know you got at least one more.
Yeah, at least one more. We'll get into that one in just a second. But that one's the first one. It starts at 11:55, so want to get that in. First things first. The other one's all after 12:30. But Tringali, he's been hitting the ball well, and he hasn't been putting. He's a phenomenal putter, one of the best in the game, and that's the kind of stuff that I look for in particular. It's hard to pick a golfer to stay hot or whatnot. But when a guy like Tringali, he's 7 under in a tough course playing well, and yet he isn't even putting as well as, that's the one thing that's it's high variance. You make some putts, you miss some putts. There's no middle. And he's been right there. If he puts in a couple of those putts, he's looking phenomenal. He's hitting decent off the tee. His irons are great, and then he's a short game player. So when this short game's on, which it usually is, like 9 out of 10 times. So look for him in this 4th round if his putter gets hot. And also it's Spieth fade as much. Spieth has been scrapping. If you look at what he's done over the past, I forgot, like 63 holes maybe? Or no, that's wrong, like 55 holes. He started out the tournament like 5 under through 9. Like he was hot. He came out on fire, and since then he's only been 2 under or so, giving a lot of strokes back. And Moff and I were talking about that, kind of picking back apart. Is he hot or is he just kind of getting lucky? And Spieth.
Jordan's the scramble king, right? So like we watched him on this first round. He's in the rough. He's not necessarily hitting fairways and stuff, but he's getting the ball close. And the course, Tiger said they were gonna amp up these conditions going into the weekend, and I think that's what you see Saturday. You saw some guys going low, but you saw a lot of scores drop or stagnate, and I think it's going to be a scrap out there today. I think we will see some low scores, but I think we'll see some bad numbers as well. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what Tiger does at this course on Sunday.
Yeah, it was weird weather. So out there in Cali, there's been no rain, so the course is dry as all ever. You can tell. Those balls are flying off the greens. Tuesday they actually had a hailstorm, so it kind of softened up a little bit, got a little bit of weird moisture. But since then, it's been nothing but rock hard. And for Sunday, you could only imagine that it's going to set up for, an even harder. You're going to have to be on your A game. I actually, two guys that I said I was going to kind of look to fade. One was Colin Morikawa. Weird name to fade. But at the same time, he does everything well. But his short game's a little iffy. If he's not sticking it with his approach shot, he's one of these guys that I think could struggle on a Sunday today. If his game's not A1. Now, obviously, if he's hitting it tight, I saw him the other day. Moff pointed out he hit a bad shot, quote unquote bad shot, and the ball ended up, 5 feet from the pin for birdie. It is disgusting. I hit a bad shot. We're fighting. But looking at last year's, tournament at Riviera, looking at some of the final round scores, a couple people absolutely tore it apart. So, Finau, Max Homa, who won it, John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Adam Scott, Cam Smith, Vic Hovland. Now, you look at these names. Those are the leading scores of the guys last year in the fourth round. So, in contention here, you got Homa, Adam Scott's a little further away, Vic Hovland, Cam Smith.
Victor.
Something to keep in mind there. While on the flip side, it's never direct correlation or something like that. But Joaquin Niemann won over Sunday last year. He's been the back nine, Moff. I don't know if you were watching yesterday. That back nine, little room for doubt there.
Right.
We've been chatting about how impressive it's been. He's been club twirling the entire damn time. Since like the third hole on the first day, he was just, he's been every approach shot, club twirl. I think there's room for a comeback. I think he left the door open, with 2 bogeys on that backside. After eagling 10, it looked like he had it in the bag. And then sure enough, that doubt starts creeping in. I think there's a couple guys.
It's hard to go wire to wire.
Yeah, it's hard to go wire to wire. And, Ma, who do you think some of those guys are that are like, first off, I guess I'll ask, what number do you think could win it? And then who are some guys that could push it?
So,
keep in mind, so last year the low round was Tony Finau, who shot 7 under. We'll give him a second.
And that's what we're kind of talking about, right? So, like, we've got Victor, I think, has the best chance to come up and win. As far as position goes, I don't think Joaquin is gonna. I think at worst he might be, a 1 or 2 over day. Like, I think he's so good right now. Even though I think we watched him play a little conservative yesterday. He was thinking about the lead. It's hard to go wire to wire, right? And that stuff creeps into these guys' heads. They try to manage more, and it's we'll see. It's all about execution, right? But Victor has the best chance to really go low. Let's hope he doesn't go off 17 fairway on 15 or whatever it is on the back nine. While it's interesting, it hasn't helped him once all week, or anyone that's gone down 17 fairway. So I think if he can avoid that, he's got the best chance. Cam Young's right up there, obviously nipping at his heels, but I don't see any bets on Cam Young for my book or anywhere. So I think Victor's got the best chance. And probably JT, just those guys right there that 6, 7 under, maybe you drop a couple shots with the leaders, and that's where we stand, probably 19, 20 under.
I'm gonna stand with my guy. I'm actually, I told Moff Sundays are tough. So Cam Young, tough course. He's never been in this position. Joaquin Niemann, been there. He's young. He's a fiery dude. But once again, this is a lot of pressure on, it's Tiger's course. He's hosting it, this kind of stuff. So with that being said, the first hole of this course is a must birdie. So Joaquin Niemann's birdied it every single day. Same with about 3/4 of the field. If you don't birdie the first hole, it might as well be a bogey. There's a lot of pressure on Niemann. If he doesn't birdie the first hole, I don't think he wins. That's my hot take of the day. If he doesn't come out and put a birdie on the board on that first hole, I'll be looking to live bet every single one of those guys in that range, whether it's Hovland, Justin Thomas, Max Homa. I even think that if Adam Scott, go ahead, Moff, say it, if he could put up a 7 and finish at 16, if Neiman doesn't bury the first hole, I think 16 under could win this tournament. And if that's the case, anyone in that range could win. The pressure really notches up big time for Neiman if he doesn't birdie that first hole. That is essentially a bogey. And, coming out with a 3-stroke lead, you better damn well do so, because if, Victor, you see somebody birdie the first hole and you don't, and just like that, or even Cam Young, if Cam Young could somehow come out and birdie the first hole and really put the pressure on them, I don't think anybody's going to close.
Oh, if Neiman were to par and Cam Young come out and eagle, bam. I've seen. I mean, we watched Taylor Gooch do it. We watched plenty of guys come out and smack an eagle on that thing. Like, I don't know where the pins. I mean, it's not going to be, obviously it's easier said than done, but
yeah, probably gonna be tough.
I mean, yeah, at least birdie, at least
Homa
for sure.
The Homa's over here. He did it yesterday. He eagled one, and just like that, he was flirt with and then strung together, 4 birdies on the front 9. Any one of these guys can do it. Hovland, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler. I love Scotty Scheffler today. I think Scotty Scheffler is one of these guys. I think he's about the most consistent last year. So last tournament and last year, 4th round, he played phenomenal. He stuck it. He shot 5 under last year in the 4th round. I think he could do that easily again, and especially as consistent as he's been doing. If he rolls in a couple putts, Scotty Scheffler, I think, is dangerous. We'll lead that right on to our matchups. There's 2 matchups I like in particular today. The first one being that Tringali over Spieth, which is teeing off right now. And
lock it in if you can.
Minutes, so you can lock that one in if you're watching live here. But the other 2, Scotty Scheffler going up against Colin Morikawa. Moff likes Morikawa. He's a phenomenal golfer, so it's understandable. But I don't think this is where
I like Scotty too, though.
This isn't where he thrives. Morikawa, this is not his kind of course. And he's been playing well, no doubt about it. But given the matchup right now, and it almost same as Jordan Spieth, kind of reeks. So, you see those 2 names, Morikawa versus Scheffler, final round. Morikawa sitting there at even money. That's an easy thought to take him. But 4th round last year here at Riviera, Morikawa was shot over par while Scheffler was, 5 under. Not that that's a direct correlation or anything, but that just shows, when the course toughens up, Morikawa played all week last year, and then on the 4th round, just his putter wasn't going. And Morikawa is not a great putter on POA, which we've seen a couple of these guys, right, Moff? Like Gria over there.
Right. I mean, if you're hitting it, yeah. I mean, if you can pop up and have a good week putting. Or, I mean, he's played a couple POA courses recently. I mean, Pebble Beach, and so it's I like both those matchups though. Tringale, we already got, and we got Scotty in there. I was talking about Harry Higgs over Ricky Fowler just because Harry's still riding that tsunami from Waste Management. And dude looked like he was about to miss the cut and just goes out and shoots like 5-6 under on the back 9. Like, come on, dude. Like, he was like solid 4 over missing the cut. He was about to be smacking Tito's and soda, in the clubhouse for the rest of the weekend. And he's like, nah, I need to check this week, boys. Sorry.
Harry, I think when he hit 5 under on that back 9, 2 eagles, that was pretty electric.
Great.
So I'm not a big Harry guy on Sunday. He's a big dude there, and Fowler is the people's champ. But that plus 120, that's about as big of money as you're really going to get as a matchup on a Sunday. So I definitely don't hate it.
I'm not touching it, but I'll be riding in spirit. I got enough stuff still pending.
All right, so what we got? What we locking up here? Some Sunday matchups. I got 3 Sunday matchups here on the docket. Grillo and McNeely. I got McNeely minus 120 over Grillo. All of them minus 120. That's all right. Scheffler minus 120 over Morikawa, and the 11.55, the one that just teed off, my guys, Tringali over Jordan Spieth. What you think, Moff?
I like him. Right. I like that, and I've already got all 3 of those in. Actually,
right, wrap it up. Who we think who's winning we'll end it on
Victor. I'm riding Victor.
You think Victor actually wins?
I'm riding with my boy Victor. I think he wins it. No money on him.
Not yet.
I can't take him.
Victor,
Not yet.
Victor's an interesting
Unless I can get him live. I haven't tried live bets on this book yet. So
FanDuel Sportsbook, shout out.
Yeah, shout out FanDuel.
Let me see. Yeah, he said, Neiman heading into the day is minus 275, minus 300 to win. So he's a pretty heavy favorite. You right now, Hovland's right around like 10 to 1 odds. Scheffler. Sheesh. Scheffler.
What's Scotty at?
100 to 1 odds. Sitting 9 back.
Yeah.
Look, if you got one of those Abraham Lincolns in your pocket, throw it at Scotty Scheffler.
Sprinkle.
Just a little sprinkle. 100.
I still got a lot of guys. I still got a lot of matchups pending.
Yeah, Rootin and Homa. Homa's number 1.
Biggest pick.
Top 10, top 20. That's our guy. That'll be.
And let's not forget, if the top 20 hits, it's stash for a week at least.
At least.
Or until Max Homa shaves his mustache.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it up. Just some stuff I still have out there. I had Pat Cantley to beat just over John Rahm for the week. That was something I sprinkled on just because I wanted a piece of Cantley. And Carlos Ortiz over Jonathan Vegas is still out there. Pat, do we want to talk about Dustin and Bubba? We can. I don't care.
Oh no, we'll do that with our wrap-up one. We'll have a wrap-up show on tomorrow. But
sweet.
Shoot. Yeah, double lock of the week.
Dustin
Johnson sucks, missed the cut. Max Homa, we're rooting him in for the big plus 220 lock of the week. On that note,
rooting him in.
Moff dollars.
Love it.
Hey, I will say my last piece of advice, FanDuel and some of these other sports books, they do have an outright winner option without Joaquin Neiman included. So Joaquin's a minus 275 favorite, which means it kind of takes the fun out of it. But I really do think that if he doesn't birdie one, anyone can win. But I'm going to go ahead and say there's 2 guys I want to take, just a light little sprinkle on. Max Homa, I'm doubling down on him here, and Scotty Scheffler. So there's outright winners without Joaquin Neiman. So essentially the guy to play second. And right now, Scotty Scheffler sitting at 22 to 1 odds and Max Homa at 40 to 1 odds. These guys haven't lost strokes to the field in a single round here at Riviera over the past 7 rounds. They gained it on approach. They gained it on off the tee. If their putters are on their A game, I think both those guys. And sitting at 40 to 1 and 22 to 1, you're really at this point fading Cameron Young, which is one of my favorite things to do here. This guy's a young rookie in second place, even more so than fading Neiman. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cameron Young fall off a boat here and be like 14 under in no time. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. And if he does go out and ball, shout out to Cameron Young. Good for him. Young guy, big stick. But as far as numbers go, that's
he did too much fishing.
Yeah.
Too much fishing Friday and Saturday. That's all it is. Oh, sorry.
Homa and Scheffler, 22 to 1 and 40 to 1 to finish second place. I think both of them have shown many times. And on Sundays, they've been hot here. So on that note, Moff dollars.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like, subscribe. Let us know who you guys took this week. And
absolutely.
As always, keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. Actually, shit, I forgot. There's one thing. For anybody still tuned in, this is no longer a golf podcast. Purdue versus Rutgers.
For all the DJs.
Basketball free play of the day. I'll get into that. Moff can sit around and listen to this one if he wants, or he can sign on out of there. But we're going.
I'll stick around. I'm gonna go on mute and do
there you go. Mute him out of there.
Some stuff.
Purdue versus Rutgers. We got Rutgers at Purdue. Rutgers has been the best home team in the country. They're going to Purdue. I like Purdue to absolutely give them an ass whooping. So I'm going to be taking Purdue minus the 12 points as your NCAA basketball free play of the day. That goes off later here. So I'll be watching the golf tournament while tuned in If you're on my premium card, that will be released here in about 5 minutes, as I just got to hit the send button. Shoot. Other than that, good luck. God bless. Grind on. Mob dollars. Catch you back here tomorrow.
Peace and blessings. Keep it rolling.
We're out.